Hey guys, this is Amy with Stick with the Plan, and today I'm talking about going fishing. Stay right here. So glad you joined me today. We're talking about going fishing. I thought would be a good title for this. Jesus instructed us, we need to be fishers of men. It made me start thinking about my grandfather. He loved to fish. He would use his 2 weeks vacation every year. Him and my nanny, that was my grandmother, they would go up to, you might be familiar with this area, in Lake Erie, Kelly's Island, Put-in Bay. They would spend their time there. And he had a tackle box. I remember he would flip it open. You could see all the different lures that was in there, and he would always tell us, be careful, they're sharp. I found that out trying to put this in my pocket. And then he'd go, ow! But he showed us these different lures because there's different fish and different styles, and fish are picky and they're finicky, and one day they might like one lure, the next day they want something else. And as I was thinking about his wisdom about fishing, I started thinking, that's like people. Jesus wants us to be fishers of men, and they're picky. And one day something might work, one style of witnessing work for one group, and you need something else for another group. But that's okay. We'll be led by the Holy Spirit on which lure to use. Why is a lure even used for fish? It attracts them. We want people to be attracted to the gospel that we're preaching. That's our job, to get as many into the kingdom as we can. Now, I remembered some fisherman wisdom from him. He said, now if you're going to fish in the cool of the day, you can use a top skimmer lure, and because the fish will come up because it's not so hot, it's cool, and they'll bite up top. Then if you're fishing in the heat of the day, they're going to be down at the bottom of the floor. You're going to need something weighty, something heavy to sink down to the bottom. And you get this wisdom from doing this for a while. I remember him instructing us about these different styles, different temperatures. Everything affects how these fish bite. And I thought, wow, I'm still thinking about the people. Everything affects our witnessing, how we do it. Some fishing lures are really, they're aggressive, they're loud, they sparkle, they go across, they attract some. There's others that's really subtle that look very natural, like a worm. And there's different styles of witnessing. Can you believe I can make all these examples with these lures? But I was even thinking about, some people's style, they are aggressive with some people. They'll get in an Uber, they'll win that driver to the Lord, within the first couple of minutes. My style with people, it's more natural. The lure I use probably looks really, I'll just sit down and know. I can remember this story about being in college, and I was going into math lab, and I looked at a lady in there, and she was crying, she was upset, and I knew in my heart she needed healing. So what lure did the Holy Spirit bring up out of my heart? I sat down and said, you know what? I said, are you feeling okay? And she had just gotten back from the doctors, a bad report about having, a mass on the side of her body, some cancer that showed up, and I began to just get that lure about Jesus not only saved you, but he healed you. She bit on that. She made Jesus the Lord, and she received her healing. I saw her 10 years later still doing great. Isn't that wonderful? We are fishers of men. Whether you do it one-on-one with the pole, like my example was with that lady, or whether you're instructed to cast a net, to share your testimony in a large group of people. I was reading how Jesus in Matthew chapter 4 and verse 18, 19, 20, where he found Peter there, and he was with Andrew, and they were fishing. He said, hey, come, follow me. I'll make you fishers of men. They laid down their nets to follow Jesus. Another time in Luke 5:5, when they had toiled all night, they were fishing all night, and they were tired, and Jesus said, hey, let's launch out. Launch out into the deep for a great catch. So Jesus knew there's different styles of fishing and different ways to catch men. He did the one-on-one when Zacchaeus was waiting in the tree. He said, get down from there. I'm going to your house. That was a one-on-one fishing with the pole. Here he's instructing the disciples, let's go out to the deep. Let's launch out for a great catch. Let's spread the net. That's what you're doing when you're helping, when your church is feeding the hungry and those in need, maybe in a crisis situation, and you're getting food to them. That's spreading a net about Jesus across your community. You might do different food drives, clothes drives. That's getting the word out, the gospel. You're fishing. Pastor Jay, my husband, had a great idea about how to spread a net out in our community several years ago. We did something called The Experience, and it got people into our building, and it was near Halloween time, so it was like a spooky season. And Jay began to use the testimony of Brother Hagin, who founded Rhema Bible Training Center, where we went to school, where he had encounter where he went to hell, and we played his testimony in a dark room, and you were just listening. We had some actors act it out, and people would just come, and they didn't know why they were coming, and they would come and they would hear this, and they would know, oh, hell is real. We were spreading the net to our community. Then we had this one scene where they had a chance to make Jesus the Lord of their life, and they didn't. And then we showed, because we had a lot of glass in this room, the room filled with smoke, and we got the fire department to help us, and they came on the lot. You could see the fire department showing up, and all the people who were watching this are like, oh, what's going to happen? And that boy goes on, and that story says he didn't make Jesus Lord. So he passed away not knowing Jesus, going to hell. And then at that moment, as all those visitors were watching this, we lit the floor up underneath them, and they were standing on a grade where there were people screaming like it was hell, and the lights came on, and everybody started screaming in that room. There's people that went around and grabbed their ankles. Everybody screamed. And then the next room was we had it all candles, and it was white, and it was beautiful, and it looked like heaven. And we said, who needs to receive Jesus? We were casting that big net, and 120 people received Jesus through that experience that we called it. The Lord is going to instruct you on great ideas, whether you're fishing one-on-one or casting a big net. We are fishers of men today, and when we seek first this kingdom, all the things that we need will be added unto us as well. Let's be fishers of men today. And that's how you'll stick with the plans He has for you. Thanks for joining me today. Man, we're fishers of men. We're kind of in for a big catch. We love hearing from you, all that God is doing in your life. Thank you for the shares. New people are watching us because you are sharing this. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, like this page. We'll have a brand new video for you. Give us a like, a love, leave a comment. And remember, every Tuesday we'll be going live. I'll see you then.